Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Until about 2 years ago, I'd never tried pho, which I incorrectly called it before I knew any better. It's pronounced pho, not pho. Just like gyros are pronounced gyros, not gyros. Let's all learn together, learn how to properly pronounce foods, people. Otherwise, you'll sound pretty dumb, like me.
Ah! Boogeyman!
If you're into playing drinking games, take a drink every time I say pho. Since trying pho a couple years ago, I simply have to have this Vietnamese soup phenomenon at least once a month. I know, right? What the fuck? But for real, I've turned into a fanatic. Not only because this Vietnamese soup is unforgettably so fucking delicious, and it's good for you, faux shizzle. The pho puns are so fucking funny and endless. If you like puns as much as I do, smash that like button and let me know in the comments what your favorite pun is. Sometimes I get a craving so bad at home, I make faux pho, and I use spaghetti noodles of all things. Which actually everything turns out very delicious, but it's not real pho, it's faux pho. The key to good pho is the stock, which is pretty involved, and even though I've never made it myself, it's definitely worth the time and effort, especially if someone else makes it for you. So during my quest of finding and trying the best instant noodle soups, I found this cup of Star Anise Foods Instant Toasted Garlic Vietnamese Pho Noodle Bowl, which is made with brown rice noodles, contains no MSG, and is ready in 3 minutes. The pho is gluten-free, MSG-free, contains no thickeners, additives, or artificial flavors. Made with instant brown rice noodles, it's the cleanest Asian noodle soup that's certified GMO-free, and it's a quick and easy meal. Now this is shocking. Have you ever seen an instant noodle soup with so few ingredients? If this is any good, it'll show you that you don't need all the crap that usually goes into the instant noodle soups. Compare that ingredient list to the ingredient list on a cup of noodles. I was shocked by the low nutrition numbers, but then I realized it's only for half the noodle bowl. But really, who's only going to eat half of this bowl of noodles? There's 208 calories, 6 grams of total fat, 2 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol, 874 milligrams of sodium, 36 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, 6 grams of sugars, and 4 grams of protein. Let's open up our fucking bowl of instant noodle soup. Remove the seasoning packet, then knead it like you would a fucking fresh soft loaf of bread. Then pour it into the bowl. And I really apologize for the lighting. I really wanted you guys to see what came out of the packet. It looked like rotten grass trimmings from the bottom of a lawnmower. Then we added the boiling water to the fill line to our grass compost and brown rice noodles. That's when the very aromatic aroma of the pho broth kicked me in the nose harder than Holly Holm kicked Ronda Rousey. And just by the smell, I knew it was going to be good. And you can see there's some richness to the broth by the fat on the top. Now close the container, and if the lid won't stay down, grab the closest thing you can find and set it on top of it to hold it down. What? You got a problem with Arthur's Baby Book? Don't judge, it's a good read. Come follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see foods I cook and eat and other fun and weird things I do that I don't get on video. After 3 minutes, Arthur was toasty warm and our noodles were ready. Again, this broth looked ridiculously delicious. Between the oils on top and the cinnamony, star anise aroma that was making me salivate, this soup has to be good. If it's not, I'll be very disappointed. We poured the instant pho noodle soup into a bowl, and as we did, I really noticed the broth was pretty cloudy, which is very different from the well-strained pho broth that I've had in pho before. But the cloudiness is probably from the starch in the noodles. And there's our leftover grass trimming stuck in the cup. We gave it one more mix, and then we got a forkful of the brown rice noodles. These look more like whole wheat fettuccine noodles. I really hate it when people slurp while they're eating, but that's how you're supposed to eat pho. So like they say, when you're at home eating pho, do as the Vietnamese do in Vietnam, slurp away. I don't even know who they are, but that sounds exactly like something whoever they are would say. So into my slurp factory they went. Alright, well that's pretty much eating nothing. As I chewed these very starchy noodles, I was so disappointed and in disbelief. The noodles were about one of the most bland things I've ever tried, and I really didn't like the texture of the noodles. I thought something was wrong with me, so I tried another forkful of noodles.
And then just try that broth.
There's no flavor whatsoever to that. It's like boiled noodles, literally. Unfortunately, I had the same result. Absolutely no flavor. How could this be, with such a beautiful, rich-looking aromatic broth? So I tried the pho broth by itself. So I got a spoonful and slurped it up. And it was simply unbelievable. There was really no flavor to speak of. It wasn't salty, it wasn't savory, it really wasn't anything. At this point, I was just mad. This is probably the most disappointing foods I've ever tried on What Are We Eating? So I'm not only mad because it was so fucking bland, but because I also thought I scored a great deal on these. When I ordered these on Amazon, I only ordered one bowl, but they ended up sending me a 6-pack. So if these were any good, that would have been a score for me. But now I'm just guessing Amazon was trying to get rid of these, which would be a good move on their part. In the beginning, I thought this soup was going to be fantastic based on the look of the broth, but it turned out to be a totally tasteless flop. I mean, this pho bowl had literally no flavor. Maybe you do need a whole bunch of ingredients to make these instant soups taste good, because this one had very few ingredients and it didn't taste at all. A 10-cent cup of noodles has a ton of ingredients, is full of sodium, isn't good for you, but they taste good. So with that said, I'm going to give Star Anise Foods Instant Pho Noodle Bowl Soup a 0 out of 10. If you'd like to help support the Wolf Pit, consider being a patron. You can pledge as little as $1 a month. That's only $12 for the whole year. Or you can pledge more. That's up to you. Either way, every little bit's appreciated and helps me produce more high-quality videos more often for you, the people. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with your family and friends, and I'll see you soon.